Hey guys, this is GWS, here to make an unusual video. A video about something I don't normally talk about. I've made a couple videos referencing my time at Discord, even responses to Discord members, but I never thought I'd have to make a video like this. And as you can see what's visible here, I've been very heavily actioned by Discord for mostly violations I did not do. A couple of them arguably, yeah, I guess they could have picked, but I would argue that all these violations against my account, especially the last one, which is the most egregious, and we're going to talk about that one, but it's looking like I'm going to have to part ways with the community that I've been a part of for the better part of a decade. Ups and downs with them. Formed great relationships with a lot of their members. All because Discord trust and safety. They're going on these witch hunts against people who quite frankly don't even have that extreme of views, including myself. And the tone of this video is going to be sad, but this is the only way I can get the message out. I can't contact people from the Discord. I never save a friend list. I never form personal relationships. I never got emails. I never got numbers. My relationship with Discord was always that. And as a consequence of that, I can't contact anybody to let anybody know that I'm gone. And I just have to hope somebody knows what this YouTube channel is. And can at least know what happened. Or, worst case scenario, I come back in a month and I gotta probably announce that I'm gone, because this isn't sustainable. As much as I love my Discord community, it's going to end sooner or later, and I'm not gonna give in. I'm not gonna bow down before the beast because I'm oppressed. Right? I'll be accommodating, but I'm not gonna sacrifice my values. So let me just go over where this started, and there'll be a record here. Okay, and yeah, here it is. The start of October is when it started. This is my first ever action against me on Discord after all these years, by the way. This is all recent. And keep in mind, I have not changed my tone. I have not changed anything about my delivery. I'm 42 years old. I deliver stuff the way I deliver it. And here's the first message. And keep in mind, this is for, quote, violent and graphic content. And my message is, and I quote, I want to see the government shut down, but I know that's not realistic. Now, could somebody please tell me how this relates to that? And I think, the part of the message that's not shown, I'll be fair, refers to the nuclear option being used. But the nuclear option is a political type of maneuver. It's literally referenced in the news, and it's clearly referencing responses to the shutdown. But as you can see, I got action for this. Um, and all these are going to say I requested a review of this violation. It doesn't matter what the quote unquote violation was. All the reviews said that um, they upheld that I violated the guidelines. It's just sad. It's really sad. This one here got flagged for hateful content, and this is the one. Okay, maybe Democrats are dog shit too, just like Muslims, right? I guess you can argue that went over the line. Like I said, I've used this kind of content, and yeah, I'll agree. I was wrong for using the word Muslims. I should have referenced the religion of Islam, but it's just a part of the pattern for that. So I guess you could call that, okay, maybe that's one. And then here's my third one. And then these are all like within the past few days, right? Or really, technically, it's two. Well, we'll check a look at both. I'll see if they're the same. Ashley Babbitt, wrongful killing. Renee Good, justified killing. Right? So this is me saying that, like, Ashley Babbitt's killing was clearly not self-defense, and Renee's Good was what? Was as a result of self-defense, which is justified. You can agree or disagree, but this is not violent or graphic content. This was a legitimate debate being had by both members of Congress and the public. And this is one. This was in response to people are accusing Trump of being a pedophile, and I said, yeah, I would vote for him again too. And this is not supporting pedophilia at all. This is me saying, in spite of all the pedophile accusations, the Epstein accusations, all of that, like, Trump has done good for the country, and I would vote for him in spite of all those actions. And here's one too. Yeah, it's the same thing. And yeah, they literally flagged the same thing twice, which, a little bit unprofessional, but, because of violations, only one of which is fair, I have to separate from a community I've been a part of for almost a decade. Like, where am I going to go? Am I going to go to the Donald now? I'm going to go somewhere. I'm not going to stop spreading, giving my 2 cents and political opinions. I've left online communities before. And the ones I was a veteran of at 42 years old, it's never easy to find new people to communicate with. Everybody like, is just gone. I've had my share of that over the years. Over my internet usage since 1998. I've been a part of IRC communities. I've been a part of MySpace communities. I've been a part of Reddit communities. Some are still halfway around. Some are completely gone. Most are completely gone. And some I left on my own. But my near decade in the politics server will be unforgettable. I meme about Doobie. You know, there's a lot of shit talking that goes on. It's all in good fun. And we differ fundamentally on a lot of things. But you've run the best community I've ever been a part of, Doobie. And I want to thank you. And I'm glad that I got to spend the last several months giving just a little bit back. And I hope that I was a net influencer, a net contributor in this community over that time. Yeah, it's a little bit soy crying about an online community. I'll agree. I'll take the lumps. But it don't matter to me. Because something amazing is being taken away from me, and if it's not, it's going to be. And even if I were to change my mind, which could happen when I come back in, I guess it's February 26th. Or if this action miraculously gets overturned, I won't hold my breath. And we're going to talk about that once I get composed. Once I get the real important stuff out of the way. So, let me just mention some people. Because for some, for all, maybe for the entire server, I don't know if I'm going to try. But I mentioned Doobie. You know, Anime, you've done an amazing job as a founder, helping out, contributing. I want to thank you. Square, I want to thank you for all you've done. I remember you when you were a kid. Though it seems like you're forever a minor, but um, you, I remember all the way back in the day, your little mod campaigns. You would make your little memes to become a mod, and you know you got so much further in that. You know, thank you for all the tech help you've done. Same thing for Fonzo. Thank you. Um, I don't know if Mushu's ever around anymore, but you were a very early contributor, and yeah, you were always a little bit on the mean and blunt side, but you know what? I respected that, and I respected the honesty. I respect your contributions to the server. And Tammy, I don't even know if you're long gone or not. I haven't seen you in ages, but you know, I hope you know that I remember you and I thank you for your contributions. I remember Toasty going through her life on the server. Like, she was really young and then she advanced. I don't think she comes anymore, but yeah, I have fond memories of her. and to the deceased Kalina from a long, 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 long time ago. Very few people probably even know who she is, but she passed away a few years ago, and she had amazing, amazing debates in the Discord servers. This one wasn't from this server, but Onlap from one of the previous Discord servers I was on. He was also amazing until the servers merged, many moons ago. I want to thank you, Onlap. There's just so many, and I'm going to forget some too. And Fiona always being a positive influence. Always telling stories about the advancements of her life. I remember her when she was young, barely out of being a minor, and just learning to navigate through her life. Those stories are always happy and inspiring. I like to thank her for the positive vibes. And Mort, the same thing. I didn't know Mort for as long. I only really remember her from the past several months when I returned to the voice chats. But she did amazingly well. Positive vibes. Duchess, same thing, positive vibes, but she added the spice. Always entertaining, always fun, always getting the best out of people that weren't always the easiest to get the best out of. I thank you, Duchess, and, to all of you who did that. Just keep up the energy because you're such a positive influence on people. Do not let the rigors of life grind down your gears. Always stay positive because you're more of a positive influence on people with that attitude than you'll ever understand. And I hope you can understand at least a part of it. People who I may not have had as much of a personal thing with, but we've had amazing debates. Corona Beard, thank you. We constantly at each other's throats. But at the end of the day, you brought the best out of me. And you challenged my mind, challenged my thinking. And I'll always appreciate that. Wizard and Mirage, I never really vibed with your values. But you were always two consistent adversaries that I would have many debates with. I'm sure one of you's probably mass reporting people on the server. But either way, I appreciate the times we got to debate. And there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people. I could go on and on. And this may not be the end anyhow. But it's mournful that I have to look at this and I have to understand that with my style of communication, it's not going to sustain. And if I do come back, I may have to restrain myself to only voice chats. I may have to restrain to only voice chats. Because this is not, it's not going to hold up. And I'll just have to decide at the time whether the voice chats are worth it. But it's like I said, we're just going to have to see. But let me address one final thing. And then I'm going to go through my thoughts of where I'm going to be, what I'm going to try, and maybe my thoughts be cleared up about my philosophy for the future. But let's address this bit. So, right now, as I show my entire email, I've given Discord several notices on their support page, and I have emailed their legal team. After 3 support tickets got automated messages telling them to cease and desist, I'm going through my final step. And I got the automated message from them that they've received the message, and we're going to see their response. Basically, this child policy violation, in response to me saying I voted for Donald Trump, this is blatant defamation. I'm willing to let a lot of things slide, but one thing I've never let slide is somebody calling me a child rapist or saying I'm advocating for child rape. I won't let that stand on my reputation, and I will take legal action against Discord if this is not removed. And so I'm just going to say to the public, to the handful of people from Discord who may see this, just stay tuned for more details, because I will be sending, if this doesn't get resolved over here, I'm going to be sending some written letters, and I would hope I could get it resolved cleanly without having to take it to court. But if I got to take it to court, then we'll see about my legal options. And if I got to do a GoFundMe to get a good lawyer to get this particular thing off my record, I'm gonna do it, because it's wrong. It's wrong, and I'm not gonna let it stand. Okay, so what's this gonna mean for my future? I'm probably gonna be posting here a lot. I have an X account. Let me show you that. I have an X account right here. And I don't know how to look at your profile anymore. Because right down here it is. Well, hang on. I guess you gotta type it in here. Okay, here we go. I'll just do it through here. So here's my X account. I'll be on X as GW Skeptic. And I post semi-frequently. I don't post a huge amount. I'll probably be posting a little bit more now. Um, and so I have those options. I might go to the Donald. I get a little bit nervous going to the Donald because I don't want to fall into the right wing pit either because there's some awful things about that. But I'm gonna go where I have to go to get my opinions out there. So I'll be on YouTube. I'll be on X. I'll link to other things. I'm not gonna link to my LinkedIn. I think this is enough right here. But anyhow, it's a sad moment that I have to say. Likely, I'm gonna have to say goodbye sooner or later to a community, and for the first time, it's not because the community became disillusioned with me or I became disillusioned with them, but because people higher up don't know how to let people speak freely and don't understand the value of freedom of expression. And for a group of people who talk about the right to protest, that's a crying shame. If you think I'm going to be intimidated, Discord trust and safety, I got the same thing to say to you that Elon Musk said to his trust and safety before he fired their asses. Kiss my motherfucking ass. Because I'm not changing my expression. My expression is reasonable. My expression is correct. And my expression is engaging in allowing others to engage with me to either set the record straight with me or admit that I'm correct. But I will not let a bunch of fucking Nazis from the trust and safety team tell a 42-year-old man how to express himself and what's right and wrong. And just like with X, their trust and safety team, your days are numbered too. Sooner rather than later, your days are numbered too. Because you know what? Ultimately, it's the investors that are going to decide this. When enough of your users are banned from the platform that you can't even make a deal to sell the shit. And when they realize that their bottom line is getting crushed by your actions, your head is on the financial chopping block. And you better damn well hope that your resume has something to speak for itself when you're looking for something. That's enough from me. God bless. Thanks for listening.